Hey, good day, everyone. I'm Kyle Longacre with the MontcoWorks NOW program, and welcome to another session of our Montgomery County MontcoWorks NOW Industry Insights program. This week, we turn back to human services again, and we are excited the guests that we're going to have. Again, the Business Education Partnership Program is funded by the state of Pennsylvania and the MontcoWorks NOW Board in partnership with Montgomery County Intermediate Unit to highlight businesses and industries here within Montgomery County and be able to tell the story for youth and young adults and parents about ways to be able to access types of jobs in these areas. So I'll introduce you to our co-host, Hakeem Jones.
Hi, good day, everybody. I'm Hakeem Jones. I'm one of our youth career counselors here with the MontcoWorks NOW program. Been in the workforce arena well over 10 years, and I really enjoy the work of helping both youth and adults navigate the workforce system, accomplish some of their major goals and reach self-sufficiency. So glad to have our guest, Michele Boardman, here. We're looking forward to a great conversation. As we know, navigating careers and workforce requires a lot of being familiar with the systems and what you're able to navigate and accomplish. So I will hand it over to Michele. She'll introduce herself and who she represents.
Sure. So hi there, my name is Michele Boardman, and I'm an employment coordinator with AHEDD. I've been with AHEDD for 10 years, and basically I work with individuals with disabilities from high school age students to retirement age individuals, and they all have different types of disabilities from mental health to intellectual disabilities, autism, and physical disabilities. So we work with the gamut, and it's really important the work that we do in terms of providing employment services, and we also do work incentive counseling services for individuals who are receiving Social Security benefits.
Michele, could you tell us a little bit about your mission and vision of your organization?
So AHEDD's mission, we've been around since 1977. So we've been doing this for over 40 years. And basically our mission is to serve the community as a catalyst in the employment and development of people with disabilities. And our vision is to really be the premier agent for creating innovative pathways to employment and greater independence for people with disabilities. And, in terms of our values, we're really committed to our mission. The individuals that work with us, our employment specialists, our team, are all committed to the mission of serving people with disabilities and helping them to obtain competitive employment. We're a very performance-based agency, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. We really focus on integrity, and we have a customer focus. So in terms of our services, some of the things that we do are employment services. That's really the main scope of our services that we provide. So AHEDD does pre-employment. Pre-employment is basically working on resume development and interview skills. We sometimes do work assessments with individuals who aren't quite sure what they want to do for their career. We also provide job development services. So we'll help with job finding and connect them with business contacts that we have. And we also can network with employers to establish relationships. We provide job coaching services for individuals that may need on-site assistance with, learning the job and maintaining their employment. And we provide follow-along services for at least a year. It could be more depending on the funding source. We also are an employment network through the Ticket to Work program. We provide transition services for students who are still in high school, and we provide work incentive counseling for individuals who are receiving Social Security benefits and want to know what is going to happen with their benefits when they go to work.
Now, Michele, Hakeem and I both work for MontcoWorks NOW, which is part of Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. And one of the main services that Montgomery County Intermediate Unit provides is services to individuals and young people with disabilities. from cradle to age 21. Our MontcoWorks Now services, we provide those up to age 24. And Michele, I know you are absolutely passionate about this work, and you recognize that there is just so much that people don't know, and that if they have the information, if they have the resources, if they have the connections, if they have the counseling, they're really able to move forward with their lives in a significant way. So would you be able to go into a little bit more detail about each of the services that you provide, and also explain why you're passionate about it, why it's so important?
Absolutely. The Ticket to Work program. The Ticket to Work program, we've been providing services through the Ticket to Work program and have a cooperative agreement with Social Security in order to provide employment services and supports to individuals who are receiving Social Security benefits. And basically, it helps them to increase their options for service providers within the Social Security network. We're also a Pennsylvania Employment Network. So we're a PAEN that serves in a leadership role for partner organizations, and we kind of take over the administrative burden when it comes to that. So this also expands employment opportunities for people with disabilities throughout the country. And then we also provide transition services, as I said, for students as young as age 14. So we'll partner with local school districts. We have some virtual cyber schools that we're also partnering with, and we can provide individualized services for individualized students, but we also provide this in a group setting. So that's always an option. And we can provide employment services to those students, such as career planning and guidance, job shadowing, and job placement. If an individual is maybe not sure what they want to do, and oftentimes students aren't really sure what they want to do, they don't have a lot of outside experience, we can do work assessments with them, and we can also work on, finding out what they want to do after high school. So do they want to explore college? Do they want to look into the military? Is community college a better option? Maybe a vo-tech school if they want to receive further vocational training. So what options are out there for them? And some instructional topics that we often work with students on is social skills training and training about what does the world of work actually look like. We work on self-advocacy and financial management, and we can also assist with transportation training. We do work in the 5-county area. So, we serve Bucks, Chester, Delaware County, Philadelphia, and Montgomery County. And some of those are rather rural and some of them are urban areas. So transportation can definitely be a concern for many if they don't have that option available to them.
And then how about the work incentive counseling? What does that look like? And in workforce, we always have alphabet soup. And so we have a couple of the acronyms that go along with this. What does it all mean?
Yeah, so work incentive counseling is an integral part and a best practice at AHEDD. Basically, when an individual has a disability, if they're receiving Social Security benefits, either SSI, which is Supplemental Security Income, or maybe they're getting SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance, they may be receiving a cash benefit and related health care that comes with that eligibility for the government benefits. So when a person engages in employment and starts working, their benefits can be impacted by earned income. So part of work incentive counseling is really assisting an individual to understand what's going to happen with their benefits when they go to work, to be able to provide that accurate information from a trained, certified person to assist that individual with making informed choices and informed decisions about how work is going to impact their benefits. And really the goal of this program is, to be able to increase financial independence and self-sufficiency. So, if you have, knowledge is power. So if you have the knowledge and the background, you'll be able to, make maybe different choices about work. And, depending on what your goal is, working with a work incentive counselor can really assist an individual with, kind of moving forward, and having a proactive approach to this can really help them with financial planning and making good decisions.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Michele. Hakeem?
Yeah, Michele, I was going to say, the work that we do, helping young people in many cases, your role is critical, and I'm glad that it exists.
Absolutely.
Many times, our students who are transitioning from, high school to adulthood, or they're reaching their 18th birthday, they're very uncertain about their benefits. They're very unclear on how many hours a week they can work without affecting their benefits. And I think our partnership with you is really, allows us to help those students navigate the reality, because what young people are told and what they learn is not exactly the same as what you guys know, being in the profession. Could you touch on some of those examples that we shared?
Yeah, sure. So, a lot of times, especially when it comes to government benefits, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of misconceptions about what's going to happen, and it's sort of like whisper down the lane. So, a student may hear something from mom or dad, and maybe they heard it from a friend that was going through this, but unless you've actually spoken with a work incentive counselor and have the actual information available to you, you may not have the truth. You may not have the real perspective. Some of the myths that I've heard over the years, and I've been doing this for over 10 years, I can only work 20 hours a week, or if I go to work, I'm going to lose my benefits. I'm afraid I'll lose my health care if I engage in employment. Those are just some things that we hear over and over again, and it's pervasive. So, it's everybody's hearing it from different angles, and, you don't necessarily know who to trust with that information. Even, sometimes Social Security doesn't have the training. Those claims representatives that you speak with over the phone, they're not specially trained in the work incentive counseling. Social Security basically farmed out the services for work incentive counseling, and, specially trained certain organizations to provide training to specific work incentive counselors over the years. So there's about 400 of us nationally that provide this work incentive counseling, but even Social Security sometimes doesn't have the most accurate and up-to-date information. And that's just because that's not what they're trained to do. They have over 13 million beneficiaries nationally that they have to oversee. And there's no way that they're going to know the intricacies and the ins and outs of everything. So
thank you. And my next question is, how did you get into this work?
So I'm actually a beneficiary myself. I receive SSI benefits, which is supplemental security income. I've been receiving benefits since I was 18. I have muscular dystrophy, and I use a wheelchair for mobility to get around. So when I was 18, I just remember thinking, okay, I get this money. I'm not sure why. I know it's because I have a disability. I know that the government gives it to me. But as an 18-year-old, I just knew I got a check every month, and that I got Medicaid, and that Medicaid was my health insurance. And that's what it helped me to pay for things that I needed. But as an 18-year-old, I had no idea the implications of work. So when I was in college, I ended up going through, I was a tutor. I did some other employment opportunities, and, At the time, I was receiving the student earned income exclusion, so nothing was happening with my check. My SSI benefit had stayed the same. But once I turned 22, that exclusion stopped. And all of a sudden, my check was starting to decrease because I was a graduate assistant and I was earning some money, working as a grad assistant. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of upset as a beneficiary. I just remember thinking, why is the government penalizing me? I am trying my hardest. I'm going to school. I'm working. Like, I'm trying to be a contributing member of society. What is going on? And what I didn't realize at the time was that the SSI program was a means-tested program. And, it basically paid for things like food and shelter costs. Because I had a disability, the implication was that I couldn't work. So when I did work, I didn't need that as much of a benefit anymore. And I didn't realize that because I was, 22 at the time. And I hadn't gone through work incentive counseling. So one of the Social Security reps had recommended the Plan to Achieve Self-Support, also known as the PASS, which is a work incentive through Social Security that allowed me to save towards a vocational goal. So ironically, I was using work incentives that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know they were real things. I didn't know that anybody could, apply for these things. And I just knew this is what they had recommended. So I utilized the PASS. And then I remember about a month before I graduated from grad school, I was freaking out because I was like, I want to work full time. That was my ultimate goal. I had gotten a degree in counseling psychology, and I had the expectation that I was gonna, work full time and earn a good living and be independent and move out of my parents' house. I wanted all of those things for myself, but being a benefit recipient, I didn't know if it was possible and how that would work. And I was like, there must be some loophole for me to be able to work full time. I mean, you wouldn't have encouraged me to engage in employment if I couldn't. So eventually I came across AHEDD, ironically, and received work incentive counseling. I remember going to the Temple University Disability Summit back in 2011, and I went to 50 different vendors that were there. I visited every table and basically said to them, I'm about to graduate. I want to work full time. I receive benefits. I need to know what's going to happen. And AHEDD was the only table that could tell me what was going to happen. Because at the time, they were the main resource for work incentive counseling in the area. So by the time I met with AHEDD, I went through work incentive counseling. I received benefits counseling, and I was able to make a better decision then moving forward. And even then, I was a little bit wary about going to work. I was like, are you sure I can do this? Like, I even had doubts and didn't really realize the implications of going to work. And I had a great mentor who had said to me, you can work. You don't have to continue volunteering. You can engage in paid employment and reach your goals. And, it took some convincing, actually, on her part to get there. But, in the end, I found AHEDD again. We reconvened a few months later when there was an opening for a work incentive counselor. Mm-hmm. And I ended up applying, and I've been there for 10 years now.
Outstanding, Michele. It's we talk about, and MontcoWorks Now actually stands for Now Navigating Opportunities in the Workforce. Mm-hmm. And we only have so much in our minds as career counselors and career support, and to be able to hand off and be able to know that you have the knowledge base, the resources, the connections to be able to help individuals navigate incentives, navigate the different forms of government support that are there, and to be able to continue to be successful is just incredibly helpful for us, incredibly inspiring. We're proud to work with Montgomery County, Pennsylvania here with the Navigate program, which also provides many individuals with a variety of different services to steer them in the direction to get the services that they need or be able to answer the questions that they might have. Now, Michele, COVID. We've asked all of our partners here with Industry Insights, how has COVID affected the work that you're doing? How has it affected the individuals that you're working with during this period of time?
Yeah, so COVID's been really difficult for, a number of industries. Every individual has basically been impacted throughout the United States. And I think, for us as an organization, we had fortunately implemented some technology upgrades within the last several years that really made remote work and being able to work from home a possibility. So, whoever at our company thought that was a needed, great idea, congrats to them. So we had gotten some technology upgrades, and when COVID hit in March, a lot of our employment specialists that, they're road warriors. So many times the job coaches are out in the community. They're, doing good work in terms of job coaching. They're making business connections, for our participants. And basically, when COVID hit, I think that was a little bit of a difficult transition for our organization in terms of, you had so much direct time out in the community to now come and sit at home and do everything over the phone, over Zoom, over the computer was a really drastic change. Our company as a whole went through some layoffs, so that was a little bit unfortunate, but we've been able to bring most of those people back. So that's been a blessing to have, a continued workforce going on. But as far as our participants, many of them did lose employment, or alternatively, the employers wanted to keep them on, so there was a number of layoffs that had happened. But other opportunities were also created for remote work. So, some of our individuals with disabilities were able to work from home and work through that. So, it's been a little bit of ups and downs with COVID, but I'm sure that every business has felt that somewhere.
Thank you. I had another question for you. Now, if you're a young person and you want to get into this type of work, what do you recommend, and what might that look like?
Okay. So AHEDD at our organization, we're really performance driven. So, we're concerned about outcomes. We want our individuals, our participants that we work with, we want them to obtain employment. We want them to be able to maintain employment. And we really want to find a good fit for them, for their job. So when it comes to working at AHEDD, we definitely want somebody who, is passionate and understands that people with disabilities can work. And if they have that passion behind them and that understanding that, it is possible, it may take some customization, it may take some accommodations to make that happen, but that's part of our job. I think in that respect, we can, really make a difference. Now, we do have a variety of different backgrounds. So, we have, even within our Philadelphia office, we have a gentleman that's worked in manufacturing for 30 years. We have people with HR backgrounds. We have people with psychology backgrounds and business backgrounds. And, you can really find the strength in those and, tailor it to the work we do.
We just have a couple minutes left here, Michele, and I would like to ask as well about the culture. And you mentioned this a little bit here, but what is the glue that holds your organization together? What is the drive that the participant or the individuals really bring to the table to keep their work moving forward?
So within our culture at AHEDD, I think the biggest thing is teamwork. Being able to work together to accomplish the goal. So within at least our Philadelphia office, because that's my home base, we're really focused on helping each other, helping our participants to, reach their employment goals. Culture also at AHEDD involves, as I said before, we're very performance based. So, we want individuals to succeed. We want the participants that we work with to obtain employment and to be able to maintain employment. So, our focus is not only on teamwork and supporting each other, but also supporting our participants.
Any final words, Hakeem, before we wrap up?
I would just like to thank you, Michele. Like we mentioned, our young people and even our clients with disabilities, they have a really hard time navigating the system at times, whether they're waiting on the phone for 30 minutes to an hour, whether their employer's not giving them, the information or sometimes the empathy that they need around their disability. I'm glad to know that your organization can help some of our parents and some of our students, navigate the disabilities, circumstances.
Right. And I think, just one thing I want to mention, I know that our organization is very employment focused. I mean, that's been our mission since the 70s. So in that respect, as I said before, it is a best practice, at least at AHEDD, but it should be throughout the nation for individuals who are getting benefits to receive work incentive counseling. So they have that background knowledge, they have that proactive approach, and they can move forward in the work world with good decision making and being informed about what's going to happen with their benefits. So when I think about this isn't really a well-known service, unfortunately. I've been doing this for 10 years, and we're still knocking on school doors and saying, hey, we have this service, use us, right? We're out there. So sometimes as a teacher, having those difficult questions and assessing for benefits, sometimes talking about finances can feel a little icky with students and their parents. But if you're working on a transition plan, you're doing an IEP, you're helping that student move from high school to their future after high school, connecting them with resources in the community that can help them to better understand their benefits is going to be a lifetime, assistance that's not going to go away. Having that resource, connecting them with that can definitely make an impact.
Michele, we greatly appreciate you joining us for our Industry Insights series. We want to thank you, your entire organization at AHEDD, for all the excellent work that you're doing within our county, here in Montgomery County, within our region. Industry Insights tries to shine a spotlight on individuals and organizations that are doing a heck of a job to support our community, support individuals. And again, on behalf of Hakeem and I in the MontcoWorks NOW program and working within Montgomery County Intermediate Unit, we want to express our appreciation to all of the professionals that are supporting individuals with disabilities all the time and during COVID, where there is so many limiting factors that are available. There is so much oftentimes risk involved in providing direct support, teaching counselors at the schools and within all the nonprofits within Montgomery County. We appreciate the county commissioners and the support for vaccinations for our frontline professionals that are providing support to individuals with disability. And again, for you, Michele, to be a conduit of knowledge for individuals and for their families to be able to contribute to the workforce, be able to receive benefits in a streamlined way that is able to keep them engaged. We really express our appreciation.
Thank you.
We will include our contact information for Michele's organization in our at the end of our presentation. Thank you all. Please tune in to our MontcoWorks NOW Industry Insights and follow us on our YouTube channel, MontcoWorks NOW. And we will have more series coming up to continue to learn about the jobs and the opportunities that are available here within Montgomery County. But on behalf of the MontcoWorks Now program, we thank you and have a good day.
Good day.